For quick and easy reference, here's a definition pulled from the web.
The term snake oil in popular culture is a reference to any worthless concoction sold as medicine and has been extended to describe a wide-ranging degree of fraudulent goods, services, and ideas.
Dogs are basically a modern-day snake oil item that people continue to buy. Dogs add no value to society overall. The most that can be accomplished is perhaps some subjective level of personal emotional fulfillment, experienced by dog owners exclusively. But we should remember that none of the purported benefits said to be applicable to dogs can be decoupled from the severe detrimental impacts their presence likewise entails. In other words, it doesn't matter what benefits dog defenders try to ascribe to them. Dogs still cause a number of negative externalities and seem to be at the source of a lot of otherwise preventable social sickness.
For starters, the snake oil term does not describe dogs at all. For starters, dogs are not a medicine-like product. They are living, breathing creatures. And they are marketed as pets, like cats. Not medicine, clown. Also, whether you like it or not, dogs have added value to society. They have improved people's lives in different ways. Heck, you said yourself, they've added emotional fulfillment. And yet, you say as if it doesn't contradict your statement, which it does.
But it doesn't take the detrimental impacts dogs have caused, like excessive barking, attacks, and dog waste.
The 2 out of 3 that range from somewhat to semi-valid are excessive barking and attacks. But even then, excessive barking can be a sign of underlying issues, whether it's mental, physical, social, and medical reasons. Also, not all dogs excessively bark, and most dogs don't even harm people. Also, the whole dog waste thing is entirely the owner's fault, since they actively choose not to clean up after their dog. But if there are no dogs, no one would be blamed. Yeah, and if there are no cats, no one would be blamed for extinction of many birds, despite it being caused by human settlements. You are unintentionally defending irresponsible owners, considering they're the ones who bought and owned the dog, making them fully responsible for not cleaning up after their dog. So yeah, dog shit argument. Anyway, moving on.
But let's be very clear here. Dogs don't serve any vital function, and our species could easily adapt to a life without dogs. Those who would choose this as the time to start going on about service dogs and working dogs would do well to remember that most dogs aren't dogs like that. Most people want to own dogs as household pets, which has nothing to do with any utility you think a tiny amount of dogs may have. And of course, there is the additional fact that many of these so-called working dogs are basically a scam as well. So for example, dogs these days are said to be able to detect allergens and do 1,000 other things which dogs have not been proven to actually do. It is assumed that dogs can help children learn how to read, which is a preposterous idea. This can be evidenced by these bizarre reading groups in many schools across the country, where school children are forced to be around dogs in the classroom. When it comes to dogs in general, what makes them very much akin to snake oil is the fraudulent nature of the claims we hear about them. People will tell you that dogs have psychic abilities and human characteristics.
Dogs have no vital function and our species can easily adapt without them.
Then I have to ask, why? Why haven't we then? Because maybe, just maybe, they do serve a vital function. Because like I said before, they have improved people's lives in different ways. And not to mention service dogs and other working dogs.
But most dogs aren't service dogs or working dogs.
Yeah, and most people aren't police officers or firefighters. That doesn't change how helpful service/working dogs are.
But many of them are a scam.
Unless you're talking about fake service dogs, that's not completely true, as it really depends on the type of dog. Also, I find it funny how you claim detecting allergens and helping kids read better are things dogs have not been proven to do, when that's just hilariously wrong. And the fact that you're willing to create false information just to compare them to snake oil really shows your credibility.
Someone recently told me about the phenomenon that is Lifeguard dogs, which is knowledge I honestly could have done without. They really do try to insert dogs into everything. Not only do dog nutters take their dogs to every public location imaginable, but people continue to try and find new jobs for dogs. The existence of Lifeguard dogs is a perfect example. I watched a video on it, and one thing I noticed is that they call these dogs Lifeguard partners. These dogs are never by themselves, but rather with a team of humans who clearly do their rescues by inflatable rescue boat. There is nothing a dog could accomplish that a human lifeguard with proper training and equipment couldn't. By contrast, there are many things humans can and do accomplish that no dog ever could. Notice also how, no matter what the context, it is humans taking the reins and using a trained dog as a mere tool. A dog will never actually perform any work of its own accord, or absent human intervention and oversight. In reality, humans are doing at least 98% of the work in these tasks. Going back to the so-called Lifeguard dogs, a dog has no way of understanding something as abstract as a job description. The term is a misnomer since a dog cannot be a lifeguard. Only a human can. From what I've read on what these dogs are supposed to be able to accomplish, they're not actually doing the work of lifeguards. It's more like a job aid for an actual lifeguard team, a tool, or an instrument. Humans are always at the forefront, and are the ones actually doing the work, and employing dogs for very specific purposes that dogs have no natural interest in.
I find it interesting that you didn't tell us what these dogs do. So allow me.
These canine lifeguards are trained to jump from helicopters and boats, carry a bayou or raft, and tow victims to shore.
So yeah, these dogs play a crucial role in saving lives. Also, I think it's ironic that you claim how useless dogs are, but then whine and make shitty excuses when dogs are being used for good, Because it breaks your brain-dead ideology on them.
But they're trying to do this so they don't have any desire to help others.
If they had no desire, then riddle me this. Then how come they even helped then? If they actually had no desire, then they wouldn't do this. You fucking dumbass.